It's time again to Ask an Attorney. Darrell Minton is joining us to get those questions answered. He joins us every Wednesday, or we have him or his partner in every Wednesday to take your questions. We'll get to our first question today. I brought a computer that broke in 3 days. Now the store wants to give me a store credit because they don't have another computer like the one that I bought. Can I just get my money back?
The answer is, under law, yes, you can. Now, when you buy something at a store, it creates a contract. You agree to pay, the store agrees to provide the merchandise. Assumed in that contract is that you will get what you paid for, a working computer. If they don't provide you with what they promised, that's technically a breach of contract. So you're entitled under the law to get what you paid for. Now, oftentimes they won't give you another one because they don't have another one that has all the bells and whistles you have except for a higher price. They don't want to give it to you and you don't want to pay for it. So under those circumstances, yes, you can rescind the contract. And if they don't want to give you your money back, then your remedy is to go to another store, pay a reasonable price for a comparable computer, and then sue the first store for the full price that you had to pay for the comparable computer. Now, you're going to have to push the issue, or they're going to tell you that's our store policy, but you're not bound by store policy unless you work for the store. So if you want to push the issue, yeah, you can get the computer you paid for, and they'll be happy to give your money back once they receive that summons in the mail.
All right, good deal. This is an interesting question. You'll have to tell me where this one came from. How can you represent criminals and still sleep at night?
Well,
was that brought in? Did you ask that a lot?
That's not exactly the kind of question that works.
That kind of surprised me.
Well, first of all, we have to assume that everyone is innocent until proven guilty. And in 20 years of practicing law, I can tell you that none of my clients have ever been proven guilty unless they confessed in open court. So if they should have been convicted and they weren't, then maybe you should blame the prosecutor or the judge for not doing their job. Or maybe blame yourself for not answering that jury summons. Or maybe it's because the legislature or the governor didn't pass the law to make my client be convicted, but you had the opportunity to vote for or against those people as well. But I can guarantee you, whatever your job is, whether it's flipping burgers or doing brain surgery or refining gasoline, criminals are using your goods and services. I bet they're out there watching us right now.
Maybe they sent in the question.
Maybe they did.
Our last question, are oral contracts enforceable?
Yes, oral contracts are enforceable. They're more difficult to enforce because there's not as much evidence to prove what they were. That's why we have something in Texas and in most states called the Statute of Frauds. It was enacted to prevent people from claiming a contract where there was no contract. So there are limited contracts that fall under the statute of frauds, and those include things like contracts that cannot be completed within a year, contract for the purchase or sale of real estate. Now there are several others, so before you get into a significant contract with anybody, make sure you consult with a lawyer, and he or she is going to tell you that all your contracts need to be in writing.
All right, good stuff. Thanks so much. And you can have your questions answered every Wednesday. Just go to our website, fox4beaumont.com, to submit those.